Nova Scotia's EMO asked to use the hall as a registration centre for residents of Portapique who had fled their homes.
For residents of Portapique who had fled their homes.
An RCMP officer was posted here in a cruiser. By this time, police were on the hunt for the shooter, who they knew was impersonating a police officer. At 10:30 a.m., 2 RCMP officers fired multiple shots outside the hall. Sources have told CTV News the officers thought they were firing at the suspect, when it was in fact a fellow Mountie.
This program is brought to you in part by...
Why don't you get yourself some turned-down collars, Poirot? They're much more the thing, you know.
The thing, Hastings? Do you think Poirot concerns himself with mere thingness?
No. No, I see that.
The turned-down collar is the first symptom of decay of the grey cells.
You know, I just think if people keep pushing, I can't, first of all, thank enough all of the hard work. There's 3 fellow YouTubers who are working very, very hard with me on this one. Rage in the Cage, Steve LTT, and Just My Stupid Opinion. Just plugging them, sorry. But they are fantastic guys, really been busting their humps here. And, you know, stepping up to the plate, because there's a certain amount of risk saying certain things. And also, likewise, all of the people who are volunteering information and time, which is, like I said, over on the Discord or sending me anonymously information, it is fantastic.
Oh, what's going on here now? There we go. Okay. I finally did figure out the camera. I was just on the phone with somebody very kind. Hello to you in the chat. Grinder, none of your business. Mark Messer. Is it Messer? Have I got this right? Lynn McGrath. Hello, Lynn. Good evening. All right, so lots of stuff. I don't even know where to begin. I will say, probably preface this, there's so many things. Be very leery of what all is going on. There is a concerted effort within the intelligence community. Okay, now I'm not tinfoil. This is something that exists. I think, frankly, most people now are kind of seeing the bigger picture on a lot of this stuff. Very concerted to destroy the movement of you guys all and us looking for the truth, right? Okay, I think we can see that. It goes deep, trust me. I am astutely aware and have been aware of some of these machinations for a long time. But, you know, things take time and everybody needs a little bit of time because these things are hard to accept. And frankly, but I have a list. Never fear, I have a list. Those of you who haven't gotten to, I will get to you. Don't worry. Now, thank you to those of you who are trying to register to take down my channel. Excellent. Please continue. I am now up to 8 complaints as of this morning. YouTube has done nothing about it. I don't know what all that means. I guess I'm just sitting and waiting. No new emails tonight, so but I don't think it'll work, and frankly, it's just making you look worse by keep trying to register it because, frankly, the tide has turned against you on this one. Now, that's out of the way. Thank you to the kind person, kind family, relative who reached out to me. Very wonderful to get your email. I appreciate that. They told me that they're constantly unsubscribed from the channel and they have been watching since the beginning, and they're definitely somebody that probably people would know. So it's good to know that the support is there beyond even what kind of my understandings are. So those of you who maybe might want to check and see if you're being unsubscribed, I could read the quotation directly. Obviously, I would never dox them, but what did they say? Something. I just thought it was interesting. What is this nonsense? How are you guys doing tonight? I've had a few days. I had a bit of a thing, which I don't know if we should get into tonight. I just find it interesting. Groups get set up. That's all rather interesting. On my list? Don't worry. Don't worry. Coming. Very kind. I find it quite touching. I was also in contact with a couple of other families today, and well, it's just, we have to really pause. I have subscribed to your channel so many times. When I go back, I have got to subscribe again. Not sure why. I think we all know why. So please do, I guess, check your subscriptions and that dingy thing that I don't know if it does anything. Anyway, now on to other things which will dovetail into things in the future, which I've already spoken of now. I'm not necessarily the most, I read between the lines. I speak a lot between the lines. Police package. Vehicles listed for sale despite prohibition of decommissioned RCMP cars. Please let us take a breath and use our rational minds. Okay? This is very important. There's all kinds of garbage happening, but they're throwing this out en masse at a lot of people, trying to sell people on this out of control cars everywhere. But you can review this for yourself and have co-intel. Yes, I see that. Perhaps I can let this ad run. Sadly, now there's an ad in here. I don't want to. Oh, yes, I can do this. Okay, I'll let the ad run out. I don't think the audio is sharing. What is going on? Is there a minute worth of ads? What the hell's happening here? That's not what I want to watch. Balls on. Yeah, okay. Oh, now there's another ad. Ads! Who buys this garbage? Move on. Nobody's interested. Oh, now it's loading. Okay. So we'll get rid of that. And we'll do this. And we'll do this. Okay, here we go. Oh, look, it's our friend, Sarah, weather lady. One has to ask themselves, her extensive CV, those of you, that's kind of a bit old school to say CV, resume of extensive journalism, investigative journalism. We won't go on to Sarah Ritchie too much, but 2018, weather lady. Canada's biggest mass murder. This is what you got. 2 podcasts. You're going overtime, pumping out a lot of stuff. How much of it is true? Ginger Vlogs, Linda. Soon every white car will be prohibited. Yes. Hello, Linda. DC. We can deal with Karen of the world stronger together. Yes, absolutely. Oh dear. Welcome to Oh dear. Again, subscriptions to other people's channels below. My stuff isn't there, and somebody was saying something about links not working. I don't know what that's all about. Some people it works for, some people it doesn't. I don't have the updated stuff to do with DLive and things like that. Hopefully, maybe I can remember at the end of this video, and I'll put it in there just in case this channel goes poof. So those of you who want to watch videos of the past in the future, there is a, what? I don't know. Tara worked it out today, 100 and some odd videos now, live streams since April 2021. So yeah, anyway, better get those videos if you'd like them. I believe I have them all backed up, but it never hurts. Because there's lots of good information in there. Maybe one day that's a project, but that's for the future to go back and document some of this stuff. Now, all of our good research and when we were coming up with it and when it was coming out in the media. So I noticed certain details coming out. I like how Forbes now suddenly, what is it? Oh, now some people actually have questioned whether Forbes may be telling the truth because she didn't say anything. Throw it away. Really? That's kind of old news over here. Anyway, truth in all. Hello, truth in all. Hello, countryside. Bruce Renwick. How hateful some people can try to be to silence you. I'm not out to hate people, just out for the truth. We're all out for truth. We're all good people. Good people will shine through at the end of this. And I should speak sometimes when I get in that mood because I'm pretty succinct. I'm pretty direct. And I was having some direct conversations the last couple of days. The people who are behind this garbage, you have families. You have communities. People are going to remember what you're doing for a long time. Just saying, remember, people have long memories. Whatever you're getting right now ain't worth it. Trust me. YouTube doesn't like quality lawyers. Well, sadly, I'm not in that field. Anyway, yeah, that's a story in itself. Wade Glenby. Okay. I think we've got most people covered. Ashley McCabe. Hello. Working, can't watch. I have received emails from somebody in the chat right now, just so that I'm not doxing them. Thank you very much for your emails. I will be responding. Please do understand that I am technologically a tool, but I do have some questions on some of the stuff that you have asked. So thank you. And thank you, Linda, also for your email. I really appreciate it. Goes from tailgating to trying to pull over BS. Yeah, so I think, maybe we can throw out a few of these questions about the white cars and all this other. Is it trying to pull over? Excellent. Great point. Thank you. The additions to these stories, which I think by and large, I don't know. I don't want to sound tinfoily, are crap. A big fat crap. But they serve somebody's purpose. I wonder whose. Have you ever seen this before? This crazy, like, oh, cars are just flying around. Let's listen to Weather Lady. Police package vehicles listed for sale despite RCMP cars. Blair was out there right away. The order I was going to do, and that will show people how spooky it is, and it is spooky. Why this story, I believe, may have come out, and that was in relation to the scrapping stuff, and I've kind of gone into that a little bit. It was the oddest thing. If you guys don't think your stuff is getting monitored, the person who was involved with that will most assuredly, I think, say yes. And those of you who are in the Discord know, because I had mentioned I was going to even talk about some of the alterations of things, like because I said the car in the video, hopefully I'm not losing you guys, the car that they had shown us that had striping on it and all this other stuff. I'm like, no, it doesn't have any striping on it, and it's totally damaged on the front end, and it doesn't have a license plate, and we don't have the name of a person being charged. What are you talking about? Big fat phony. To cover other stuff, perhaps scrapping of the car, the scrapping of the car. That's, I don't know, maybe the families agreed to that. Frankly, I don't see how they would. But anyway, so this story came up. Thanks very much to Ricky G for the cover photo, because the cover photo, they're trying to sow into the consciousness. What? Oh, of course, that police cars in Nova Scotia have the push bar, the infamous push bar. Did the push bar? I don't know. Who knows anything about this stuff? But I'll tell you, they're trying to get it into your head. Just think to yourself, when the last time you saw a RCMP or regular, your city vehicles, whatever, Crown Vic was. This is a long time ago, like years and years ago. They're pulling footage out and throwing it in as now? No, thanks, weather lady, it's not. Excuse me. All right, so let's have a listen here. I've got to mute my microphone, and you can... Seamus, shut up.
Police package vehicles were still for sale on the federal government's website this afternoon, weeks after the public safety minister said the sale of surplus RCMP vehicles was being suspended. The moratorium was announced last month after the arrest of a 23-year-old man the RCMP say was impersonating police in Antigonish. Last April, a gunman used a former RCMP car that he made to look like a cruiser as he carried out a shooting spree that left 22 people dead. Today, at least 3 decommissioned police vehicles were for sale on the government's surplus website. They are stripped-down former military police vehicles, similar in appearance to RCMP cruisers. When asked, a spokesperson for Public Safety Minister Bill Blair said the moratorium applies to former RCMP vehicles and directed our questions to the Department of National Defence or to Public Services and Procurement Canada. The ads have since been removed from the site. Police package vehicles.
Now, I would like to just rationally look at this story, because it's fast, right? You know, that's the way the news goes these days. I would like to break down this story just to have a little look at what all is going on. So I hope I'm not going to get too much feedback. I've got to listen to it myself, and I hate wearing earphones. Messes up my hair, right? Oh, yeah.
Vehicles were still for sale on the federal government's website this afternoon, weeks after the public safety minister said the sale of surplus RCMP vehicles was being suspended.
Now, let's start with that one. Bill Blair, oh my goodness, cars are flying around. Where is Bill Blair when the families were asking questions and still have been asking questions? Where's Bill Blair been? About cop cars, apparently, he's everywhere. About families, he's nowhere to be found. In fact, he will say, I love the one quotation. It is in a video sometime back where he is at the press conference, and those of you who are family members who are in here will know exactly what I'm talking about, where a question was posed to him and said, this is what we want as family. And they said to, in reply, was, well, we know what families want, but we want this, and we've decided it's better. Excuse me? Thanks, Bill and RCMP. Ooh, yes. Justice Minister. Furry. He's into the furries. Now, let's continue. So, nowhere to be found, but all over this one.
The moratorium was announced last month after the arrest of a 23-year-old man the RCMP say was impersonating police in Antigonish.
Again, I would say, where is the name of the person? I would like to see the court dockets of this person. I would like to see photos of this person. I would like to look at this car that they were trying to say had stripes all over it, which is complete and utter bullshit. Who's driving around this car with this gigantic dent in the hood? Do you see a license plate in this picture? Oh, no, you don't. They said that there's rear LEDs can be seen in this. Really? Can you see that? I certainly can't. No, can't see anything there. Now, let's move along. Bullshit.
Police in Antigonish. Last April, a gunman used a former RCMP car that he made to look like a cruiser as he carried out a shooting.
This one, logic. Let's have a look at the two different things side by side. Well, I don't have a side by side. I wish I, in my head I can conceptualize. But of course, let's see. That car, versus this car. That car versus a white car. Cop car, white car. No. Yes, it is. And again, very good, oh dear. Excellent point. The angle of the car is exactly identical to the one in virtually here. It's psychological warfare they're fighting on you. They know what they're doing. They could show you this car. They don't want to show you this car at different angles. They want you to see this and this. Excellent. Oh dear. So, not the same. Definitely not the same. If you saw this car on the road, you're not going to be like, oh my God, there's a masked gunman in it. Right? Do you follow? This is really trying to fight with your mind. Was I doing that again? Sorry. No. Not the same. Not the same at all. This car, if you know the warrants, is really fully equipped. There is somebody very kind who has been working extraordinarily diligent in the background. And one day, we all owe a gigantic thank you to this person from the RCMP. And there's likewise, I know that there's somebody else in here too. And big, huge thank you to you, as always, and thank you to everybody. But they're like, no, nobody knows what's in the fucking car. Nobody knows all the equipment that's in a car. This car was to the nines. Everything inside, which you can't order. And I demonstrate way at the beginning, you can't buy a lot of these parts. They're just simply not possible. Suggestive thinking. Yes. A lot of psychological warfare going on here. Lots. But you see, it's so fast. 57 seconds. They're throwing lots at you, but it's subtle. It wears at your mind. Let's continue.
To look like a cruiser as he carried out a shooting spree that left 22 people dead. Today, at least 3 decommissioned police vehicles were for sale on the government's surplus website. They are stripped down former military police vehicles, similar in appearance to RCMP cruisers.
Okay. Now, let's put the thinking cap on and the glasses. Maybe we just need glasses, right? Maybe that's it. I know I need to wear mine. I'm going blind. I'm sorry, none of those look like those. Do they? Does that look like those? No. What did they just admit? Fully stripped down. Because that's the way it works. Right? This is not a new practice. They've been doing it forever. We'll read through the article. There's some things there too also. Also, we look at here. Oh, do you think this is the high quality blurring that they could do? They want you to go look. GC Surplus Atlantic Sales Center. Do you know where this is? I believe that's the fellow. Is that the fellow over in New Brunswick where he was trying to buy the cars? You guys remember the name of that? I guess he didn't learn his lesson the first time, apparently, right? He's like, oh, Wortman came in here and I didn't want to sell him a car because I knew he was a bad guy, so I didn't. Huh? GC Surplus Atlantic Sales Canada. Is it, I believe, oh dear would know this one for sure, right? I think that's that fellow over in New Brunswick. Is it? DC says no. GSC, what is it called? My memory's terrible. GC Surplus. GC Surplus. 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 Sorry, my spelling. Surplus. Atlantic. Canada. Who is this? Okay, sorry, this is the government website. Well, why do you need to obscure the government website? But they want you to see it still at the same time. And then they tell you it's fully stripped down cars, which has been going on since the dawn of time. Right? These aren't new. This is not a new procedure because this car doesn't do anything. It's a white car. Let's be real.
On the government's surplus website, they are stripped down former military police vehicles, similar in appearance to RCMP cruisers.
Military police, similar to RCMP cruiser. I don't know. Help me with this one, please. Because I know, lots of things go on. Perhaps I'm losing my mind, which frankly, I don't think is happening. But anyway, no matter what you try. Now, I'm not seeing that this is similar at all. Let's see, there's striping, which is specifically ordered and put on by the contractors. There is a light bar on the top of the vehicle. There's lights built into the windows. There's radar guns. There's all kinds of crap. No. PA systems. I'm not sure how this car is pulling me over. It's a white car.
Government's surplus website, they are stripped down former military police vehicles, similar in appearance to RCMP cruisers. When asked, a spokesperson for Public Safety Minister Bill Blair said the moratorium applies to former RCMP vehicles.
Oops. Please help me, you guys with your awesome thinking caps. I would like to know when the last time you saw a Crown Vic was. I'm going to go and grab a coffee whilst you answer. When was the last time you saw a Crown Vic on the road? Has a push bar, though. How convenient. We got 20 years ago from None of Your Business. Okay, anybody else have some answers? Please throw them up. Just help me out, because I'm kind of simple. Let's put it that way. I can't remember the last time. Wow. Well, I don't know if that means a long time. your DC, your memory's going. I don't know. They sell these cars all the time in Ontario. They are stripped of decals. Yes. Yes, they don't exist with bars in the window, push bars, light bars, PA systems, rear-facing, decrypted radios. The list of parts that he had is quite extensive. The control arm for the tough book, the rifle racks, etc., etc. I saw a Crown Vic 3 years ago. Really? Wow. Okay. More than 10 years ago, says Oh dear. Okay. Peace River out here. I don't know. Maybe they're driving out older cars our direction. Um, 20 years ago. Okay, so we've got quite a few here. But it's quite a long time, right? We're talking years. But the point is that the reason that they use this car is why? Because of this. A long time ago, there was a story. Do you guys remember? Let me see if I can find that. Do you remember at the beginning of the whole thing with the push bar nonsense? Who knows whatever's going on with that, but push bar. Oh, that's it. Okay. Have a nice folder for push bar, wouldn't you know? When I was searching a long time ago, I would search daily for push bar, different word variations to try and find a car in Nova Scotia that had a push bar. And Google, I could never find one. Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, I could find ones that were in towns, etc. But then I came across this interesting story all of a sudden one day, just at the top of stuff. Right here, wouldn't you know? And in the story, RCMP say 23 following mass shooting in Nova Scotia. Here we have the Crown Vic. Again, ancient car, old picture. Barry 360. I wonder if we can find this article again. And yes, it is in Nova Scotia. Let's see. I think I got the close-up of it. Oh, why are you doing that? Push bars, definitely Nova Scotia license plates. But it's so interesting that all of a sudden, just one day, poof, this article appears. Barry 360. Really? Really? Who owns Barry 360? I wonder. I'm just going out on a limb here. Ooh, Barry 360. Anybody know Barry Ontario 360? Ownership. News. Also owns, see, this is the media. This is what they like to do. They own everything. Brock 95, K107. Jesus Christ, these things. Can't find anything on their own website. Like, why? Most people are proud to say what they own. Anybody know? Anyways, I would say it's affiliated, obviously, with a larger news organization. Let's just leave it there. So they sow these things into your consciousness. 57 seconds so far, you've got hit with a bunch of things. Well, of course, white cars, are exactly RCMP cars. RCMP cars have push bars. Angles of cars make you think like Wortman's car. Car that you saw has striping and nothing. It's just lies after lies after lies. And you have Blair coming out and saying, oh, yeah, by the way, we must get rid of these things immediately.
And directed our questions to the Department of National Defense or to Public Services and Procurement Canada. The ads have since been removed from the site.
Oh, wow. So you put white cars on there and now you've stopped selling white cars. Thanks for that. I'm glad. Now you stop selling white cars. My diapers were filling up. Seriously, people, come on. Canada's government is still listing vehicles for police for sale. Equipped for police. No, it's not. Does it have a radar gun? No. Does it have push bars, light bars, encrypted radio systems, control arms for tough books, rifle racks, silent patrolmen, back seats that are the, terrible, uncomfortable, awful back seats if you've been back there, bars on the window. I mean, hello, it's just a white car. Should we be afraid of white cars all of a sudden? Oh my God, I'm terrified of white cars. That picture was from 2016. Oh, you dated it. Did you do? Are you crispy? Are you awesome? And do the tin eye and that kind of stuff? I love people who think along those lines. Take the photo, look at it. Where's it coming from? Who is it that put it up? Do the research. The research always destroys whatever they say. The media lies all the time, no doubt. On this one, they did. Yes. It's nothing but lies they pump us full of. Gosh, when I was trying to find this story, because it apparently aired on Global Atlantic. I actually went to go and watch Global National to see if it aired on that. Now, I really don't want to sew in other stuff, but seriously, the entire program almost was COVID. I'm like, is there other things happening in this world? Obviously there is. I don't care where you sit on the fence. I think we can all agree there's a lot of other things happening. Why is it that they keep having to tell us this? If everybody wants to wear their masks and do their things, that's cool. Whatever everybody's got to do. However, you are propagating data on people, indoctrinating them, mass, as many of you have seen, right? And you can see in here, Linda O'Dear and all of you are seeing what the hell is going on with these things. Equipped for police use for sale. Despite government announcement in January that would prohibit sale of decommissioned RCMP cars. It's a car. If it has nothing in the car, who cares? It's like your neighbor's car. Oh my God, that's a weapon. Global News identified at least 3 surplus vehicles for sale. Again, I would say, what were the 3 surplus vehicles? I'm going to have to go back and this is nonsense. I don't want to watch your ad. I hope that's not filling up garbage in the background with you guys with audio. Excuse me. Just so we can have an idea. Ex-military police vehicles, not RCMP. So let's see, that doesn't even have anything to do with the price of tea in China, right? Decommissioned RCMP cars, right? Oh, no, I got to refresh the page to get that video back. Balls. Okay, hopefully that's not playing in the background. Has nothing to do with military vehicles, have nothing to do with RCMP cars. So even if you were to get rid of them, what the hell does it have to do with anything? Seriously? Nothing. Nothing. All 3 are listed as former vehicles used by the Department of Defense. I think she's going to tell us a weather front is moving in or something at this point in time. And then she'll say the wheat is blowing in the wind down in Saskatchewan on 13 hours with whistly music or whatever the hell they're doing today. Oh, yes, there we go. There's the useful stuff. Decommissioned RCMP cars when they're showing you military decommissioned cars. Who cares? It's a car. All are similar in appearance to decommissioned RCMP cruisers that have been listed on for sale before the federal government announced a moratorium on the sale. Is this like the moratorium on the destruction of evidence? Like the destruction of evidence down in Picton? Tink, 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 tink. West Coast, East Coast. Even the angles of the cars, right? I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, moratorium on, and then they're using the word moratorium here. You seen the word moratorium anywhere? Nobody cares if you destroy a white car. I don't care. I do care that you've been destroying evidence. I do care, in fact, that maybe this story floated out as a result of your destroying one of the rather more fundamental pieces of evidence. Gina Goulet's car, which was when the story came out. The timing of everything, very, very critical. Like setting up Facebook pages right away. Read between the lines? Wonder who did that. Oh no, you have a 2013 Taurus white for sale. Oh no. Please, any of you who have a white 2013 Taurus, be sure to go and drop it off because there's a moratorium on it. It's going to be destroyed. All explorers, let's be real here. The RCMP has resale process for vehicles no longer needed that ensures that they cannot easily be misused for criminal purposes. That's true. Absolutely 100% true. They're shit cars. It's like buying an ex-taxi car. Should we put a moratorium on a taxi car? They're exactly the same. Dome light, you get the round dome light, wires ripped out of everywhere. I mean, it's potentially a little bit more powerful an engine. Yay, they even take chips out and shit like that now. So they're just shit. We're suspending the sale, decommission the RCMP vehicles on an interim basis to ensure that this process remains appropriate and robust. Shut it. Shut it. Robust. This is like stakeholders. Go away with your crap terms. Nobody cares about the white cars for sale, Blair. What they do care about is 23 dead people. Get on with it. Quit hiding behind skirts. Blair announced the prohibition in the wake of 2 very serious incidents in Nova Scotia. One is extraordinarily serious. Oh, but there may be some evidence floating out in some time in the future. When I say things, it's not as though I don't know things. I certainly know things. Perhaps, maybe the RCMP may have had knowledge of that car, other than what people have read about. Just saying. That's a very serious incident. A white car that has a damaged hood, not a serious incident. Sorry. And we'll get into, I wonder, Steve, hey, Steve, how's it going? Steve, I got to do earlier shows. My apologies. My apologies. I know. I could come on at crazy times. It's frankly, my mind just gets a little overloaded, so I got to dump a little bit of it out. I was saying on the phone to somebody who's very wonderful, and I was having conversation with. Perhaps, oh dear, could you be a wonderful, continue your wonders and find the article to do with why the person was pulled over or arrested? Because they did say that it was to do with tailgating, and they've now since revised this. The gunman in the Nova Scotia shooting was driving a vehicle decorated with decals, lights, and made to look like an RCMP cruiser. I don't think we even know. I have a view on this. I'm going to kind of hold true to it, because if it quacks like a duck, walks like a duck, it's probably a duck. The car was 100% loaded. Loaded. He knew all the parts. He knew everything. Now, how does one know these things? Or could it maybe just be a real cruiser? Sometimes Occam's razor is true, perhaps. Thank you very much. Oh dear, so wonderful. And subscriptions to people's channels below, I would encourage you. Oh dear's got a great channel. Vehicle and a realistic RCMP uniform. See now look what happened here. Do you like this? Do you like that? Anybody remember? They've kind of scaled this one back now. Authentic RCMP uniform. Anybody remember those words? I do. I remember them coming out in the press conference. I remember them in the ITOs. How does it suddenly, Weather Girl, turn into a realistic looking RCMP uniform? The vehicle is fake. The uniform is fake. The world is fake. Everything is fake. You know what I think? I think Weather Lady is fake. You know what? I'll just go out on a limb and say that. I think she propagates fake news. As somebody would say, fake news. Fake news all around. You do remember they service cars regularly, unlike, yeah, Cappy cars. Well, I don't know. They all have very specific contracts for everything. Only certain people can handle their stuff. They're very, very careful about all their things. It's like that website they said. I will dig back and find that. They actually literally said that the decals were available. And I went to the website. I remember I was on the phone with the RCMP person at the time. And I was reviewing the ITOs. And I went to the official website that they had listed. I can no longer find it because they flooded us with just crap, which is another thing we should get into here at some point. And I went to that site. It was an rcmp.gc.ca website, real hyphen, whatever it is that they use, gc.ca. And they just had the decals there. Like, you know, sure, of course, everybody can get it. Listen, Project, Babel, Wide Awake, garbage intel organizations, Five Eyes. No, you know exactly what you put on the internet versus the intranet. Like the moratorium, right? That wasn't on the internet. That was on the RCMP intranet, internal. Perhaps we should go and start talking to the people that very good conversation again with somebody who's, wow, people doing some extremely diligent work, and the pressure is on. And I had a conversation with that person this morning, and we got off topic a little bit and started talking about the decals a little bit, and those are specific contracts. Maybe we should go and talk to the people who get contracts for the RCMP, and we can get their spin on it. How does it work? Do you just go to the website that's out there? No, you don't. Just go and get your decals. Because, of course, everybody can just go and print them off. Weather Lady is just like Judas. She's going to pay, I think. Her family's going to live somewhere. I'm not throwing out threats. I'm just simply saying, if people do things that they could live to regret, you have to be prepared to face consequences. We all do, right? Anybody involved in this story that is doing anything that is not above board, I think I can see in the future, figuratively, again, the idea of the stalks. You remember the stalks and tomatoes? And people know their names and throw tomatoes at them and their families. They get ostracized. It is going to be brutal, real brutal. Going to come back on you. You put your names out there. We all know who you are. Some of you want to hide behind handles and garbage. But I'll find you out. Another thing I wanted to talk about, actually, which I'm going to encourage people, I'm going to start looking into, because it's actually very helpful. We all do it, the people over here, which is OSINT. But this is, there's very organized OSINT stuff, open source intelligence, using some computer programming and things like that, Python. But it's quite, there's a vast array of finding out information that can save a lot of time. And even people have maps put together, and you just drop crap in there and you can figure out connections. It'll go and scan everybody, find out any kind of connection to anything, whether their IP addresses, whatever, social media accounts, fake social media accounts, everything. It'll just, you can do these things, right? I mean, it's a lot of work, right? But actually, at the end of the day, if you know how to use OSINT properly, you can save yourself a shit pile of time. Tools. Anyways, I'm getting off topic as per normal, but just things to note. So let's move along here. Uniforms. More recently, the same day that the scrapping of the car story that I was told about on the order of that was so freaky. But that shows you. It's like they have the story lined up in the background. That person found out from somebody else who isn't even related to this about the scrapping of the car, and suddenly they had this magic incident happen up in Antigonish. Then I do the video about it. I point out the problems. Then they revise the articles. Then I talk about the fact that I'm going to point out how the order of these things and how it looks a bit strange. And then they remove most of the references to the hitting of the deer and the stripes. Do you guys remember that? There are those of you who remember. There are those of you in here who remember from the Discord, because I remember it was discussed. You had read the articles before. That article, one of them had been revised 2 days later, or like a day later. What are you doing to remove those items? Why? Because now you've suddenly been found out? Durr. Let's continue. You could buy decals. Really, you could buy decals? Wow. Karma is a bitch. I like that. Very true. Do the crime. Pay the time. Everybody makes mistakes. Better get out of the fire while it's early, I would say. Lots of people can. The 70-plus officers that have walked out down there, I think is silently a signal. Don't necessarily buy into the fact that they're all suffering from PTSD. I would say that that is a silent protest. And they're letting the RCMP know they're really upset. Somewhere in there, that is going to start to crack. It's cracking. And we're going to be there to support those wonderful people who step forward, those great men and women in uniform who simply have had enough of this shit. Was it 76? I think 76. It was a lot. I can go back and find it. A lot. They're getting reassigned everywhere. You know, this shows you people aren't impressed on that side of the fence either with what's going on upstairs. So let's see, we have us, we have them, we have this separation, but I know it will come together, and then it will be this. Do you see what I'm saying? Both sides are going to start going after them. Not very many of them. Weather. Maybe we can do weather. I wonder how much weather you're going to be doing after this. Psychological warfare. Fuck me. Say nice things, flowery things, stay away from facts, then push garbage in there. Ooh, brutal. The vehicle was outfitted with LED lights in the rear window, a microphone on the dashboard, a public address system, and a citizens band radio push bar with LED lights mounted on the grille. This is in reference to the Antigonish car. Okay? You know, the white one. The white one in the tweet. Where's that? There we go. This one. Okay, first of all, LED lights. Where? Sorry. Can't see them. Push bar. Sorry, can't see that. Oops. It had stripes before, but now they've decided to take that out. It had a CB radio. Oh my God! Those damn truckers! Let's get them! CB radio? Really? Tractors have CB radios. Let's use the thinking cap here. And who's telling them this? A microphone on the dash. A microphone on the dash. Well, lots of people have microphones on the dash from the car. A lot of cars are built-in microphones. Do you follow? This is just a whole bunch of nothing burger. Anybody with a CB radio, even if I believe this shit, which I do not believe at all. CB radios, funnily enough, most of them have. Hell, one of my farm trucks has it. Push bar with LED. I'm not sure where they're getting that. It must be that weather front moving in with such perceptive vision. You know how the meteorologists, they could always predict the weather? They were so good at it? I think, yeah, that's about as good as we're getting here. Police also confirmed, so we know that this probably is a whole bunch of shit too, right? I hope you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. Because that's the way I read every article all the time. Anytime anything comes out, and I have for years. Who says it? Why? What do I actually see with my own eyes? I can see, I can think, I can read articles, I have experience. Don't tell me, don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. No, doesn't work very well. Police also confirmed the suspect did not appear to have any police clothing or firearms at the time of any kind. Well, thanks. So you basically said you're getting rid of your own stuff in there. Here's their fancy graphics of their timeline, which is complete shit, by the way. Sorry about your timeline. Even with your planted tape garbage. On Tuesday, which is frankly, I think, a lot of also why this is coming out. Caught live. Good evening, Chai. Good evening. Oh, good evening. I'll get you a what is that? A pointer? Do I need one of those laser pointers or a mouse or something? Yeah, I should change my mouse so that I changed it to a big yellow thing. I could change it to like a big derp or something like that. Anyway, so we have Bill to the rescue. Bill, who's RCMP Bill. Or sorry, no, that's Furries. These people are all trash. Where's Bill for helping out the families? Where's good old Bill? He's off on white cars now. He's off on white cars. He's off on gun bills. He's off on lots of things. He's somehow forgotten about 23. It's like the setting up of the story from McNeil and his crying on stage about how it's so terrible about the drug addict who got arrested for being drunk and disorderly and not showing up for trial, her own trial, to testify against a person that abused her, which is horrific. But frankly, she was intoxicated and obviously caused some shit and then was beating herself against the wall, so they restrained her. Oh my goodness. Let us just leave her so that she can put her head through the wall. That would be wise. I don't think I can see any medical problems resulting from that or lawsuits. Durr! And then you have McNeil. What a setup this all is. And he's up there and he's like, oh, this is the most serious problem I've dealt with. And really? I think you've got 23 homicides on your hands, sir. That's probably the most serious thing you've ever dealt with. So why don't you quit running from it and deal with it? They directed any further inquiries to the Department of National Defense or Public Service Procurement. The moratorium only applied to RCMP. So what the hell is this story even about? White cars? Tomorrow you can do a story on green cars. Weather front coming in. Huh? They direct any further inquiries to the D&D. Well, that's good. Maybe the hard drives. You know those hard drives that they find in garages? Oops. A year later, cleanup man, who then makes a mockery. I like that. Don't know if anybody caught the mockery, and those had participated in the mockery of the families. Because that's the way I interpreted it. Maybe I'm just sensitive. But they're all joking about burying money in the backyard and CSIS and all this and that. There were certain institutions and people that participated in that conversation with Cleanup Man. That's not funny at all. That's really serious. When you get exposed for talking shit, and then that's your way of dealing with it, is humoring yourself by essentially laughing at the families, and your cohorts seem to come in. Because nobody would want to support that, I don't think. I would not want to support that. Frankly, I would want to distance myself from that very far, very quickly. I'd be like, oh, goodness, this seems like a disaster over here. Didn't quite understand who that person was. I'm out. And maybe I'm going to make a public statement even to that effect. Not going to want to associate with this person any longer. They seem to have something else going on in the background. Instead, they laugh at families. So I've got those Twitter lines saved. Don't know if you guys all caught those. Anyways, here we go. Back to the weather over here, the 406 minutes of weather, which I probably will not vomit and participate in. Though it's interesting to listen to these things just simply so that you can get the little tidbits so that you can actually use it against them. Kind of like the scaling back of uniforms and whatever else. Sad Mafioso. Hello. How you doing? Working, doing things. They're so concerned with vehicles and clothes. What about the hundreds of unanswered problems in their official story? I like the ones that they throw in there too. The new ones, they just keep throwing more garbage in. In an email response to Global News, a spokesman for the DND, why is this related? Again, DND, Department of National Defense, said the department, quote, has requested the items removed from the site until further notice while we determine the way ahead of disposal of our police vehicles. Who cares? I don't know if Indo's running around in those vehicles. But anyway, that aside, because it's military, I don't know, CSIS military is all junk. Junk! I don't want to pay money for it anymore. I'm tired. Better get back at it. Okay. All right, here we go. 3 reported incidents of vehicles not pulled over. So now it's gone down to 2. But in at least one that was tailgating aggressively. Oh, sorry. So this is the aggressively and was driven in a way that made it appear as though to be a police vehicle. Huh? Do not ever drive in a poor fashion. I don't encourage anybody to drive in a poor fashion, obviously. In a white car. That may be problematic because the RCMP may invent stories. Where's the person? Where's the charge? I want to see them. And then I want to see them convicted. And then I want to see them incarcerated. And I'm going to go and visit them in jail. Because frankly, I think you're fucking full of shit. Let's see here. Excellent. Thank you. Oh dear. Awesome. And archived. Beautiful. Beautiful. Excellent. Highlighted even. And it said that tailgated, pulled over, but at least one was tailgating aggressively and driven in a way that may have appeared to a police vehicle. How does one appear to be driving like a police vehicle exactly? Police vehicles drive. They go forward, they go backward. I don't think they hover and do anything special. No, they don't do anything special. Does this story have the stripes removed? He said that there were no police logos or emblems on the car, just reflective stripes down the side, which a regular unmarked police. Remember? Do you see? Do you see? That's not what you see in that picture again. But perhaps my eyes are bad. Help me. Let's see. We'll try and throw this in there. I don't know how you do this. Whatever. I'll just minimize it. Thank goodness I don't have 7,000 windows open like usual. Doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Reflective stripes all over the sides of the car. Oh. No reflective stripes. I guess Indo didn't get there to insert them. That was pretty horrible, that doctoring on those pictures. I really expected better in the video. Really did. Got some pretty snazzy skills. Don't know if you happened to catch that. I think those tweets were deleted soon after. Like the cleanup man. He's always erasing stuff. Not an important person to pay any mind to because he's absolutely been blown out of the water and irrelevant now. I did see some comment. What was it? Oh, yes. Nova Scotia. From Nova Scotia. Well, I didn't know that was true either. I thought it was Ontario, but it could be wrong. Could be wrong on that one. Sorry. Those of you who've read that know what I'm referring to. Okay, moving along. Driving so perfect had to be a cop. Wait, did he pass you? How slow? Driving, sir? Are you going? Were you impaired? What does a police car drive like? Really? Manipulated facts. And just weeds. Throwing a lot of chum in the water, as I call it. Chum. Get out of it, the chum. Nobody cares. I care about 23. That's what I care about. What happened down on that road? And more importantly, why did it happen? And how long in advance did you know? And what was your participation in it? RCMP, CSIS, crap. How long have you been running crap down there? Don't fuck around with white cars. 23. Under the criminal code, it is an offense to falsely represent themselves as police officers with a white car. It is also a crime when someone uses police equipment such as a badge. I like this one. How about this one? Have we ever got any explanation on the badge? The badge. You know, the authentic badge? Where did that go? Anybody remember? I do. I remember Campbell sitting there. Badge. Multiple uniforms. Authentic. Badge. Has anybody asked about the badge? No, nobody in the media. They want to talk about white cars and weather fronts. And doctored videos. Awesome. Seeing a picture here? I certainly do. Vehicle or article of clothing that would lead a person to believe that they are a police officer. Obviously, a horrific thing, crime, but this is not happening en masse. However, it is not illegal to possess or own police vehicles, with companies using decommissioned police vehicles for TV shows or movies, or even collecting them. Okay. I'm going to leave a little something with you here on that. Wait, no. My apologies. I've got this one wrong. Do 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 do. Lots of badges. Do do do. Anybody know this site? Oh, I do. do. Oh, look at that. Very rare, obsolete cold ale. Oh my goodness. Look at that. I for sure know. That's got to be a real policeman. Do. Somebody messaging me and saying something, I think. Do. Oh, hat badge. Wow. When was this in existence? Oh, there we go. Wow. You know. Do. Oh my goodness. Watch out for those real police cars running around the road. By fake officers. Victim declared dead. That's an interesting story, too. Was a truck, I believe. A truck, and it may or may not have had lights on it. In the grill or something, on the dash. I don't know. Some shade. Oh, look at these. Look at this stuff. It's everywhere. Everywhere. I don't know what that is, so I'm not going to click on it. Now it's this museum project closed down. Do. Wow. Badges. Oh my. Because that stuff's really, dime a dozen. October 6th, 2020. Is that after April 19th? I think so. Do. Oh, you've got old boots and do. Where is this from? Where is these trade shows happening? I wonder. Let's see if we can find some of them. Do. Oh, we've got some real old badges, and this is actually on the top left-hand side is somebody I know may have one of these. It's from like fucking 1950s. Do. Oh, it's got German planes in there. Okay. Do. Oh, wow. Badges. Shoulder flashes, they're called. Shoulder flashes. Wow. I'm seeing fully equipped police cars and uniforms. Or am I seeing old things that go on hats from the 1900s? And shoulder flashes. Oh, goodness. Shoulder flashes at trade shows. Oh, where are these at? May 30th. Tin-eye these photos, people. Tin-eye them. May 26th. See how the dates are on this stuff? Selling goods. There we go. There's a police car for you. Shoulder flashes. Maisie, shoulder flashes. There's a very big difference between badges and shoulder flashes. Oh, that sounds about right. December. This is what you get in December. Nothing. Oh, yes. The RCMP Veterans Association. I saw this somewhere. I saw the same wall somewhere. May have been in a global interview with a certain person. Certainly looks like we are proud to announce the retirement of frame donated to the RCMP Alberta Veterans Association. Who's donating this, do you think? RCMP Veterans Association hats. They have hats. The Veterans Association has hats. Oh. We'll just kind of skip through that quickly, but that may be where the story's coming from. Oh, here we go. Look at these badges from phones. Oh my. Look at that. I know that's a real police officer. Dollarama store? Don't even have it. Just on a phone. Do. Oh, does this have something to do with it too? Disgruntled, possibly. Hat pins, wow, badges. Oh no. Oh no. I know I have a couple of swords too. Does that make me bad? Let's see, I have one from Waterloo, from a relative, distant relative, obviously. Oh no, there's one I'm looking at right now. It will not show because then all of a sudden it will turn into crazy town in here. Here we go. You see this often on the roads? Blue. I'm not always a stalker, but when I pretend I am a detective. Oh, that's an awfully strange thing. Boxes of badges. Badges? Badges. Shoulder flashes, I should say. I need to be very careful. Shoulder flashes. You know, just the thing that's here. There we go. Not authentic uniforms. And Coaldale hat pins from the 20s. Really? Shoulder flashes. Oh. 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 Do these look like policemen? At the police show? You may not be understanding, but I'm leaving stuff here. The person knows who I'm talking about. There's a couple of you in here who know who I'm talking about. Let's have a look at the police show. Where was that held anyway? I think I found out somewhere. May have a file on that somewhere. What did I call that? I hope I still have organized. My crap is so disorganized all the time. May have been held at the Cuff and Billy. Cuff and Billy. We can put that in there. Let's put in Calgary Police Show 2019. Oh, look at that. Facebook. Westman's at the event by the Police Insignia Collectors Association. Police Collectors Show. Insignia. Shoulder flashes, you know. This was Cuff and Billy. Oh, wait, sorry, is that this one? Cuff and Billy. Homicide. I believe some of these people may be involved as police officers. As in, these are police officers here themselves, collecting shoulder flashes of their own kind. Boxes of shoulder flashes. Shoulder flashes. I don't see boxes of uniforms. Oh, yes, sorry. A blue RCMP jacket. When was the last time you saw that again? Was that right up there with that car that's in the scrapyard? That authentic police car. I would be terrified of that police car with the bubble on the roof. Oh my, scary stuff. And billy clubs. Look at these. Oh my. Straight from the fucking vendor. Don't you know? No. Shoulder flashes. Shoulder flashes. There's that police car again. Wow. I wonder if that person's ever appeared anywhere. International Police Museum. Who runs that? Or ran it? I mean, I don't know. Sometimes it's 7 years, it's 10 years. I don't know. Are you afraid of this car? Look at that light. It's so official looking. Presented to Edmonton Police. Oh, shoulder flashes. Wow. I think that's probably what we're dealing with here. I don't know when that car is from. I can hear the siren though. It's like, you know, you remember that from the old radio shows? I used to listen to old radio shows. Retired IRS agent has, in the United States, has amassed badge collections. Do you know how badges are done in Canada? Let's see if I can find how they're done. I'll show you. You have to give me a moment here.
But he was actually going to die.
Okay. See, I don't quite know. Maybe you can't see it really how it's done. That's how a badge is done. It's actually in a gigantic. Clinton Jaws spoke about it, funnily enough, once upon a time. His channel popped around. It's in a gigantic plastic block. Clear. It's a paperweight. It's not an official badge. They just give you, kind of a parting gift, like, thanks for coming out. And they give you a badge that's in a big plastic block, and you can put it on. And he spoke about it. He did a video all about it. I should go and get it. It's like a paperweight. That's what he says. It's, pretty much useless. You can use it as a paperweight. That's the way badges come. Wonder how Wortman had a badge. Well, highway patrol. Anyways, I hope you're getting the gist. And that person who I'm referring to, I hope you get the gist too, because I ain't stupid. Don't fuck with me. Let's have a view at another article, and let's look at it with discerning eyes. Well, this won't be it, but I mean, what I showed you versus this, it's quite easy to buy this. Is it really easy, do you think? You can buy this here. Frankly, they knock off eggs over in China. Wow. Oops. Doesn't mean anything. Where is it though? Anybody remember the early global thing? I did make a video. Where did I put that? There was an article that accompanied it. Where did I put that? Let's have a video time. It's like class. Hopefully the audio is still coming through.
Collecting police paraphernalia is a passion for many around the world. Collector William Roy in Alberta took up the hobby nearly a decade ago with plans for a museum.
Display history and bringing history of law enforcement from around the world all into one location.
But in recent years, he's grown concerned over some activity in online collection groups.
My bigger concerns were some of the more current RCMP patrol uniforms being disposed of on Facebook and the recklessness of how these things are being distributed.
Items like these are being posted to the dozens of collecting groups here in Canada.
Really? I can never do it without screwing up. I think actually I have done it a couple times, which is frankly a miracle. I remember I said that one day when I was doing some volunteer work. I didn't make a mistake this time. It was a miracle. They're short and far between. One person. Do you know those thousands of collectors? Now, Global has a affiliate, last I checked, perhaps in Edmonton. Would that be correct, Steve? I'm just asking you a question. I'm not calling you out on the carpet. My views are my views, but sure we can get into where I'm coming from further down the line, and I think it will open a few eyes. But does Global have an affiliate in Edmonton? The answer to that, of course, would be yes. They do. Edmonton's a fairly major city. Hell, it's bigger than Nova Scotia. Entire population. Why is it that they're doing a phone interview? is this gear that he has, where? From his house? Because if it is, I'm wondering why they need to do a phone interview. Kind of like the muted video that Brenda had to make that was muffled and nobody could see their face, but we phoned and we confirmed that it is actually Glenn, who's friends with Brenda and Lee and Samuelson. How odd. It's interesting, I recovered a picture of a video earlier on where I was kind of blowing out that person. And quite ways back. Robin Lee, oops, you deleted your profile too late in the story because it was in there. I got a screenshot of it from a video that I did a long time ago. So I'm wondering, why is it that you would need to do a phone interview when you've got a very big station? Where are these pictures coming from exactly? Looks like this is behind a case. Could it be something like, I don't know. Well, this one looks to be in the United States. And again, it's just shoulder flashes. I don't even know where this came from. But I'm thinking it's some kind of police museum. It's behind glass. I think it's an actual official police museum somewhere with a police department. You know, there's a couple of those actually around. Why would you need to do the phone interview? Not understanding. Because there's pictures of your stuff, right? Or did they just kind of do, I don't know. Let's see. Sorry. One moment, please. Why am I not finding what I'm looking for? Oh, yes. Anybody remember anything like this? Are you following me? Or am I losing people? I'm giving you an opportunity. You know who I'm talking about. And two, do the right thing. Move away quickly. That's what I would do. Because there's lots more if you want it. Brenda, One Pony Show. All One Pony shows. Oh, they're certainly following. I got the emails to prove it. Let's see. You guys have all seen nasty messages too. The different tactics. Holy fuck. They were pretty interesting. Squirrely. They actually thought they could pull that one out. They actually thought they could pull it out. They thought they could salvage it. Don't fuck with my mind. I'm way smarter than you. Don't. Bad idea. And I keep files. Anyway, why is it that we have, clothing just popping up everywhere, and badges, brand new pants? I don't know. Phone interviews, shots from who knows where. If you were to do tin-eyeing this shit, as in reverse image searching, I think you're going to find something. Do you think you're going to find something? If this is from his house, why is it that he needs to do a phone interview? Kind of like Gerster doing the interview from Ottawa on Forbes. Really? Then getting a book deal. How convenient. Sold your soul. Sold your soul. Stocks. Figurative. I never advocate violence. Just have to use this. Stay true to who we are. Stay true. Search for the truth. Don't get lost in the weeds. Don't believe the bullshit. Nancy Hicks pumps. Do you know how much they're pumping the shit out? I showed it last time. They are really pumping this stuff out. And they are going on the masses. Huge.
No one had any idea.
206,000 subscribers. This is just one. Do I even believe that that's necessarily real? I can buy subscriptions to my channel too. The difference is, I'm not a fucking liar. But even if it were 206,000 people, I don't know. They push it awful hard everywhere. Weather lady, One Pony shows, not a good idea. And if you think it's reserved for global, it absolutely isn't. Remember my words. when I say I have a list, before that gets misinterpreted with the misogyny crap or justice collectors or whatever the fuck they want to come up with, I have a list of people, like a paper list. It's in my mind of people who have been fucking us all around. And more importantly, fucking around 23. Don't do it anymore. People are getting wise. You are all wise. Why is it that they want to do this? I love some of the questions that they get posed and the responses that they come up with. They sound awful like just remove the name and substitute RCMP. They don't want to traumatize you. I feel really badly for your loss. If you feel really badly for the family's loss, answer the fucking questions now. Don't make mockeries. Don't play games. Don't invent crap. Don't fake videos. Don't insert phone calls massive blocks of bullshit. Better come clean, because it's going to just keep getting worse. I don't care that you keep raining complaints on me. Continue. To do it, because I'm getting too close to your shit. We're getting too close to your shit. Lots of smart people. Don't also, please, I beg of you, I beg this of you. Just because somebody may be in our room, I don't want people turning on each other. This is not, and I'm watching that. Don't do it. They're going to try. Don't fall into the trap. Eye on the prize, 23. That's it. Truth. That's it. Don't engage in fights with people. Take the higher road. We're all better than that. They lose. They've been losing. They will continue to lose. Those two groups at one point here, it's actually just going to be a merging of all kinds of things. And I saw that conceptually at the beginning, of people that are true, not bullshit seekers. Families that are willing to talk. People on the Discord that are good, not shit disturbers. Don't run around pointing fingers. No need to. Just simply say, not going into that, not engaging. Discord groups, Facebook groups, YouTube people, RCMP disaffected members, all melding together. slowly, and going to go after they really need to go, right? The ones who caused the pain that can never be fixed with money. We can do this, all hand in hand together. I know we can, and we will. Please continue. Be good to yourselves too. Got to make sure that you don't get lost and bogged down with the mental stuff. I had a bit of a bad day the other day. I will be honest. Doesn't matter. You can't beat me. You can't beat us. Truth wins. Truth in all. So many great names. Truth behold. Truth, truth. Truth wins. And look deeper. Archive articles. Use tools like TinEye. Educate yourselves on OSINT. Download videos. Keep things offline. This is another really important thing. I'm not going to bitch and bemoan about my situation, but I'll tell you. Tech stuff. I'm not very happy in my corner. But, you do things like this. External hard drives, other external hard drives. I can show you collections of stuff where these things are always handy. Offline, can't fuck with it, can't delete it. Scan your computer. Sad that we live in this world where we have things like Project Wide Awake. We have a police organizations that are our employees that are fucking fighting warfare against our own people, their employers. Get real. I never dealt well with employees that were bad employees. I don't have time for it. You want to fuck around? Maybe somebody wants you. I don't. Everybody makes mistakes. Let's deal with things and stuff like that. But let's work on this. If you want to intentionally screw me and things like that, steal, be dishonest, out of here. That's the way the world works. Fired. Rebuild anew with good people who want good things. Like no more 23. How about that? Maybe one day in an ideal world, we aren't having to, there's people who aren't doing bad things to get by. They choose the higher road. They don't fall into the trap of materialism and shit. Souls can't be bought. Fuck you, man. Movies and books and blah, blah. Get out of here. Get real. Been there, done that. Not worth anything. It's devoid. Don't need nothing. I don't need anything much. I'm happy with what I got. Oh, yes. That was interesting, too. I never showed that. So many interesting things I could show everybody. Revenue. What? There never was anything earning on this channel. Like, are you serious? That's the next tactic you can pull out. I'm incel. Well, no, 70% of the people who follow us are female. Okay, well, that fails. And clearly, I don't have a problem. I'm not in need of any female companionship. Oh, okay, well, then attack him and say he's doing it for money. Oh no, that doesn't work too well. Never has. Oh, okay. Next, we'll do this. Let's start raining down complaints. Let's attack. Show us what? Show you what? Oh, sorry. My apologies. Show you. There you go. There's what I do. There's what I earn. 0. There's some shit here way back at the beginning, prior to my channel, which funnily enough got demonetized. But if you want to look at my lifetime revenues, to which this channel, I will assure you, was never registered in an actual address. So I've never seen a dime. But my total revenue, if I had, would have been $19.71. Do you know how long I've been doing YouTube? A very long time. $19.71, which I never saw anyway and had no interest in seeing. Really? But more importantly, what happened back in April? Oh, that's funny. Because as soon as I started talking about Nova Scotia, even though the channel was all registered in bullshit, total and utter bullshit. I don't know what the address I even have is. I'm sure I can find it here. Would be Bilbo Baggins at, I don't know, 10 Downing Street or some garbage. When I started talking about Nova Scotia, they immediately demonetized this channel. I have the email to prove it. Okay, so who cares? I wasn't seeing anything anyway. I didn't do any of this ever to do money. So that fails. Okay. So then you're going to start going, well, actually, we love family members, but we just don't think that they should be in there. I noticed Karen George has gone away. Now they have a new incarnation of somebody who has one friend. You didn't even know when your friend died. I'm sorry about that one. I'm very sorry for the lady that did. But what's going on with you people? You want to steer narratives? You want to go after family members? Like, let's use the thinking mind. Instead of when pointed out that that's probably not a nice thing to do, and those people probably need your help, what you did is you kicked them out. And you realized way too late. You stepped in it hard. Because then I'm going to start showing the other groups that you do. All of yous hiding behind skirts. Very protected area. I understand it. It's an old trick. Immediately, you lose 51% of support. Or sorry, 49. Because, well, you just attack every man as a woman hater. Am I crazy? No, I'm not a woman hater. I couldn't get in a relationship. That would be rather self-defeating, no? I kind of like women. I don't know. Women kind of like my channel. It's pretty awesome. I love women. Strong women. Truly strong women. I remember my grandmother. She was getting interviewed one day by the Herald. And they said, you got to be one of the first feminists around. My grandmother lost her shit. She's like, don't ever fucking use that word with me. What I am is accomplished that I have done what I have done as a person. That's it. Not because I'm a female, not because I'm a male, not because I'm brown or black or purple or whatever. Muslim, it doesn't matter. We're just people, right? Trolls are losing their minds. They ever had them to begin with. They have nothing on you, so they make shit up. Well, yes, and that's sad. Or ad hominem attacks. This shows the level of where people are at. Or they make mockeries, like burying money, and that's actually, to me, I view as a direct attack on the families. Because you're laughing at them. You're laughing at them. Ha ha ha, we have money buried in the... Where is it? I don't know. I'm sure I can find them here. Some of them. Yes, I do watch. I don't want to pay a lot of attention to you people because you're not worth my time. You're zeros. You're less than zeros. You sold your souls. Move along. I'd rather spend my time eye on the prize looking for the truth. But, I kind of do monitor sometimes. Where was it? Some of this stuff. Oh, God. I think this person now is trying to show, like, be a Q-tard or something or other. Todd loves Q-tards. It's too bad Todd's not around. Anyways, it's not probably worth it going into. It's just sad. Some of this stuff, I'm like, oh, really? I'm seeing the depravity, the levels that people have stooped to. And it makes me very sad. But I don't whine on, cry in my pillow. Cry in your giant pillow. I just prefer to show you things that you already know. Or maybe you don't. Maybe most of the time, what I've found is that people know these things deep down. They have like at least the sense that there's something wrong. But that's a hard one to face in reality. It is. You mean there's people who work against me for really bad reasons? That's just purely illogical. Who would do that? I would never do that. Of course, you would never do that. When evil is incorporated into the picture, well, that's a different story entirely. Evil doesn't have a bound. They don't have limits. They don't have conscience. They're just going to go about doing whatever they do. But they get afraid when light gets shone on them. Take that rock off. Oh, they all start scattering and sending out, let's, And then they turn into, what is it? Oh, I know. Q-tards. I like the Q-tard anomaly now that's come out. That's cool. That's really cool. You're such a breadcrumber. You're so intelligent. Intelligence of what? Seriously? Move along. I don't know. Your videos you can't even fake. Tapes. I want to form a group of people who want to go after the tapes. Good people. And frankly, I think we all do need to be good people. I'm Seamus Gorman, and I'm in Calgary. Everybody knows who I am now, I guess. It's not as though I was trying to hide, but I don't care. I had nothing to hide. I never have. It's just I'm not a very public person, that's all. But we all have faces. Sharon has a face, you know. Can't hide in the internet because that's where they like that stuff. We don't need anonymity anymore. We're strong. I want the tapes. Also, another thing I should mention, I talk about so many different things. This is why, but this is my mind, and I do have to apologize because I'm all over the place. But there's always good stuff. That's why it's probably worth maybe, well, actually, I'll leave that judgment with you because you know if it's good or not. But I figure it's not too bad. The warrants. So the warrants, I've noticed this stuff. Actually, let's just have a little look at the warrants. Some more. I went through one the other night. Now, these are the warrants that were issued. As you can see, some of them I have already done here, which is basically I have highlighted the terms that were unredacted. So I want you to also think here for a moment, because this is a question that has eluded me. I'm not familiar with redaction law. CFSEU, butcher. Okay. CFSEU, butcher. They know what I'm talking about. Now, Bergerman. They have reissued warrants that are old, that they have already. Halfpenny Macquarie made a ruling on back on these are coming out May 23rd, I believe it is. May 25th is the date. There we go. So you can see here's like the May 25th package 0641. And then if you go in, here's 0641. They've just re-released it. So how does that work? How does that work that Halfpenny Macquarie ruled back in May that here's what you can release, here's what, because I understand it's an ongoing investigation. And then Halfpenny Macquarie is going back again and re-releasing the same warrant that she made a ruling on herself again. I'm not familiar with redaction law, but I would think that would have to go for an appeal and somebody else would rule on it. And then that would be their ruling. Well, then you would have to re-release some more stuff. But it's like they're petering information out. So some of the details, I've never quite understood why they have anything to do with release of information. So any of the stuff here in yellow that I've got is stuff that is new, which I think Paul may have got muddled up a little bit, but I don't know. I'll leave that alone. So, But some of these are rather silly words to redact. The use of statement. If we go down, I mean, here we have the use of a pronoun. I suppose that then narrows it down by, like I said, 49%. Oh my goodness. Here's some questions that I had about. This one is a big question that I've been looking into. Nova Lee Holdings, and I remember looking into this way back when. Casino Taxi. What is their name? Oh, I forget their name. They own Casino Taxi, amongst a host of other companies. I think I may have discussed some of them very early on. Why is it that Nova Lee Taxi, the director, has not listed, blah, blah, blah. Okay, sorry. So this is not the statement. Corporal Khan, okay, director of Nova Lee Holdings, which frankly, both the people that are listed are females. So I'm presuming that it's the son. I can't remember their name, who isn't a director. So either they fucked up on their pronouns or they did speak to a male. And he, in fact, just isn't listed as a director when he, in fact, is. But he wants to go and visit Wortman daily. A taxi, the Hermans, there you go. Thank you. Thank you. Hermans. Now, I'm not quite understanding why Wortman is getting visited daily, which then got me thinking about, we have one Wortman. Is that correct? One. Gabriel Wortman. There are 2 clinics, right? And from my understanding, Wortman worked Monday and Tuesday. So I'm not sure who's at the other clinic on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm presuming that they're open, right? And who's at the second clinic, being the predominant clinic, the Portland Street Clinic, on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? Who's doing all the denture work? Anybody could help me out with that one? If there's one denturist and he has 2 locations, who's working in the other denture shop? If Lisa's a fucking secretary. Maybe she's an assistant, but then you still have a shop open with no person in it. That makes sense to anybody, or am I just barking up the wrong tree? Plus, why is the casino man, casino taxi guy, visiting Wortman every day? Every day, when he only works Monday and Tuesday, from my understanding. But why would a taxi person be visiting him every day? Taxis, I'm not sure. I'm not saying anything accusatory, but taxis do have a reputation about things. Oh, I'm not saying anything in respect to that. That's not what I'm talking about, good news. That is not what I'm discussing. What I'm just talking about is one denturist doing dentures, you know, these things, right? So who's doing all the work? Because one shop is 100% unemployed and the other shop is only employed 2/5 of the time. So what's going on? And then you have taxi guy visiting him at the other location, the Nova Lee Drive, every day. At first I thought, way back when, before I saw these warrants, I was like, well, maybe he was visiting him to collect rent. When I looked up Nova Lee Holdings, because they were mentioned. But I don't know anybody who has to collect rent every day. Trap. I'm thinking trap. Again, those of you who read between lines know what I'm saying. Why is it that you would have to visit him every day? How is it that on the, what is the interview taking place on? On the 21st. How would they know to go and talk to this person who isn't a director? Okay, that. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is there is only one person, but one person can't be in two places at the same time. Why would you need two offices if you're only making teeth in one? And who's there the rest of the time? Yes. Very true. We did. There was other businesses associated with it. Why is it that are these not valid questions? I'm finding these quite perplexing. It's like being in a tracker and a police car at the same time, which I hear some people kind of picking up on now. You can't be in two vehicles at the same time with one person. It's simply scientifically impossible. Shared office space to save money. Books would definitely reveal employees. From my understanding, controlling Wortman, of course, wasn't with Lisa Banfield because she was working down there and he was doing whatever, or whomever, sorry to be rude, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Because he was so controlling, when she had her own car and place to stay down there. Which actually then raises another issue. Why is somebody in the warrants who, I will not name at this point, but I think those of you who know the story will know who I'm talking about. Why does somebody know a hell of a lot about the denture clinics when they don't have dentures themselves? They don't seem to know him very well, but then they do, but they don't have dentures, but they know a hell of a lot about the denture clinics. I don't know, maybe that's where they meet him. Maybe they're just wandering around the neighborhood. How far away again is Dartmouth from Portapique? An hour and a half or something? I don't know, maybe he just got lost on the way home. Walking or whatever. A lot. Because they don't have need for teeth. As I recall, a David Letterman type thing going on with the teeth. So how is it that they know about the denture clinic so much? Possibly whatever barf. I don't know what that is. Casino Taxi is the smaller of the two taxi companies. They serve all government services. Their cars are large and newer. I don't know. I'm asking you guys, just doing a little brainstorming here. I'm kind of, I get, my mind goes different places when I'm looking at different things. I was going to show you redaction of stupid words, but then I stumble, first stupid term is this, like, who cares? The director of Novalee, though, is not a male. If you look up Novalee, there we go. I don't know. I know we live in a different day and age. I'm always such a smart ass. Jesus, when I listen to myself talk, it's terrible. I know now, actually, sometimes what my girlfriend talks about, or other people, but who know me well. This is the sarcasm with the monotone. Karen, Herman, Glenda, Darcy. I know we live in a different day and age, but I'm pretty sure these are females. Karen is mother to the person I believe the RCMP are speaking to. So who's in the warrant again? Who's this? And why is he visiting Wortman daily at the clinic when he's not at the clinic daily? And why does Wortman have 2 clinics when he can only be in one place at one time? What's going on here? Just some stuff to ponder about. Interesting. So these warrants that were released have redactions of some pretty silly terms that then Halfpenny Macquarie, the same judge, goes back in February and releases things that she already ruled on before in May. It's almost like they kind of want to peter out details that are just old and just keep this process going along. I remember I calculated a ways back how long it would take at the rate that they're going, because there's now, actually, it's my understanding, it's going to take longer than I initially thought. So at the rate that they're going before, I had calculated that it would be approximately 3 years. 3 years before all of the warrants would be released. But if you think about that, they're re-releasing warrants and going back and making rulings on them, I don't know actually what that would turn into. I'm sure you could mathematically work it out. But we also still have 20 warrants that, in excess of 20 warrants that are unaddressed to this point. These crap written verbal diarrhea garbage, which I am of the mind is not written because the person who's writing it is not smart. They wish to appear not smart. There are some fuck-ups in it. That would be CFSEU, right? Biker squad. Because it's an awfully strange transition to go from undercover biker work, biker squad, drug work, to paper pushing, writing warrants. When you've done that for decades, that's kind of your experience. Now you suddenly get into writing warrants. I don't know. See, something about Butcher in this too. Butcher Bergerman. Just saying. Those terms are out there now. People can do with them what they want. Minor injuries. It's almost like you want to hide something here, right? So basically, the warrant release as far as I have gone through thus far, which is 3 of these last 6, is exactly the same, pretty much, other than there was an interesting notation I made that they have removed pages which did specify the things that were put in lockers. So you actually get less material now than you had before, which is interesting. I don't know how you move backwards. It's a very interesting game they're playing over there. I don't know exactly who all's in on it. I have some ideas. I don't know as it's necessarily all on the up and up with everybody over there. In fact, it may not even be on the up and up at all. It just seems like a bit of a game. Them. I mean, okay, I guess it does narrow down that it was a couple they visited. This is something that somebody mentioned to me about a long time ago, and I never, like right at the beginning, and this is in Cole Harbor. The person never got back to me about the person that they knew in the HRP who knew things about this. I was very hopeful, but I never did hear back, sadly. Perhaps maybe they will be watching the video, and I have seen them around from time to time, so I do hope that they have the opportunity to ask their friend. Plains Road. I guess that's dangerous. You have to ask yourself an ongoing investigation with that in mind. Why are these terms being redacted? Does it matter if it's Plains Road or if she had minor injuries or major injuries? These are really nothing burgers. Aside from the fact I think these warrants are nothing burgers. Like, determined to be. Can you please possibly explain that one? I know my grandfather, who was a judge, he didn't do redaction rulings. Halfpenny Macquarie, I believe, does all kinds of things. He did criminal court stuff. He would be absolutely enraged if he saw this. And probably call for the removal of that judge. If people want to get appointed as judge and they want to remove that, determined to be, because that must be something that the narrowing down of an investigation. But you see, I think it more has to do with the fact of culpability of the RCMP's part because of the fact that this is Joey Weber, right? Yes, the Macquaries. I was never able to determine if they were one and the same. I would assume. Of course, then we have the tactical unit. Garbage has to be removed. Elizabeth McMillan came along and fixed her article then, so she removed this part also. More media bullshitting games. Don't know anything about guns. I think this is rather interesting. I think this may narrow down things possibly. I don't know if this is real even, but 556, what does anybody know in here what the RCMP use? Perhaps they can leave a comment below. That would be great. If they use a 556 caliber Colt law enforcement carbine, I do believe that this gun is going to turn out to be an RCMP gun, which I've kind of I have made some predictions along the way. I kind of hold true to them. But you see, they were very, as you can see, Very worried about the Colt law enforcement carbine. Other guns, not so much. Interesting. Or is this actually, sorry, maybe I haven't completed this one. My apologies. They're all basically the same because this is just basically the same shit times 6. Front door, you know, some of these are laser beam. I love that. Laser beam in the eye, minor. These have nothing to do with an ongoing investigation. I can't see anybody being prevented from being arrested. Prevented from being arrested because they've hidden the word minor. You know? Oh my God. We mentioned the word minor. Minor injuries. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I know that, let's just hypothetically say, right? I'm just using hypothetical. I know that now that we said minor, Bill's going to run away. We can't arrest Bill then because we said minor. Brain power. Like, this is, I feel like I want to be the lady down in Halifax lockup and knock my head off the wall a lot of times, because it really kind of is quite baffling to intelligence, one's own intelligence, right? I mean, we all are seeing how much shit is going on, right? I do understand that I'm maybe a little bit more immersed than some people. Not saying other people aren't more immersed than me, I would assume, but I can tell you, it is unbelievably defying to the brain. I feel like I've woken up in retard land, and no offense on people who actually have mental challenges. I have a problem with people who have intelligence and frankly are fucking dumber than a sack of hammers by choice. That's just, something's gone wrong. They've watched way too much Bachelorette. They've got to tune back in. Substantial injuries. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Oh. Well, we all know they're playing a lot of games. I'm going to be very happy when we kind of, I don't know the word. I like to use the word blowing out, like, but in a very obviously figurative way. Blowing out people. I'm going to be very happy to blow out CBC here, because frankly, they're a lot involved with this shit and their responses, and in their vehicles. Well, that one obviously is a culpability one. So frankly, again, 2 females shot in their vehicles. You know that's not going to... Mr. Wortman, of course, is dead, right? So even if the person was alive, would it make a difference if they were shot in their vehicle or not? Is that going to hamper possibly anything? The only reasonable explanation for that would be something like, you want to withhold a piece of data so that you can question somebody and then have that piece of data in your mind and then determine whether that person is telling the truth or not. So if they said, well, you know, I shot them on the street, but the person you're maintaining that did this is dead. So frankly, it doesn't matter where they were shot, does it? Unless you're facing lawsuits. I do hope that Mr. Pinio and the families, because I know that there are several families now that I understand that actually watch this, far more than I understood. Which, frankly, you are always welcome to contact me. Always. And that's how we'll get this, is between all of us. Between us all sharing information. But I do understand everybody is where we are in the story, and especially most of all them. Yeah. But we do need to, this is a war, literally and figuratively. Not literally, but figuratively, for sure. A war. War on your minds, and a war to suppress the truth. But this kind of term is only redacted to save the RCMP once again. Just like the Joey Weber redaction. That's all it is. So I do hope that the lawyers involved with this add as a named defendant the RCMP pension fund. Got to start suing the pension funds. Likewise, the people in, and I'll tell you, if people started to do that, I know it sounds monumentous, but if the people in Pictou and the people down in Enfield started launching class action suits, multiple ones, with different lawyers, then you're going to end up with different judges. They're going to have to start spitting out a lot more truth. When you name RCMP pension fund, because then you're hitting the actual members. And this isn't about hurting great men and women that have been doing the job. It has to do with, it's time for you to step forward and tell the truth about what you know. And then we can all clean up this mess, and hopefully we will never have a repeat of 23. Yes, that's the reasoning behind suing them. It isn't like money is the only system that the court has to really make serious changes, other than changing law and legal interpretation of fucked up politicians' own politicians' bullshit. Truth will set you free. Yes. The only reason that they have kept the Ford Escape in this kind of SUV type stuff in the cert, I was having this discussion again with somebody today about that. The only reason that the tracker is ever involved, this is a more psychological warfare, is because they have to try and come to terms with the fact that they have mentioned a silver tracker many times in tweets before the Shubenacadie stuff came down. So then they're going to try, because you have two vehicles at the same time, right? Tracker, RCMP, cruiser. Which one is it? So if we just say, well, it was a silver tracker cert that keeps going with that one, then it will fit the stupid timeline and cover the RCMP's ass. But, well, Cashion, I don't know what you're doing over there. Kind of like Kane. Not so sure about that one. Big stories all underneath that. We'll get there one day. When the time is right. When the time's right. Everything is strategy. You can't drop everything at one time. And I'm hoping that the people that are doing bad things those consciences will start to eat them alive like they should, or that they have, Karnak moments. Like, oh my goodness, in the future, people are going to know, and I'm going to get in real shit here, and so is my family. So I better get out of the way of that train right now. Just calling on those people to use the thinking, foresight skills here. And I believe in people that they will do that. Otherwise, I don't want to be in their shoes. Anybody who's could be very bad. Might want to move to Uganda or something, possibly. I don't think in Canada people are going to treat you very well. Or your families. People need to think about their families here. Oof. Now, I can see this kind of narrows down who this might be, I suppose. So, but is this person a suspect? Why would it matter if they were looking out the window and that Gabriel Wortman was their neighbor? Redactions. Retarded redactions. I'm looking forward to it. I think there's going to be some people down there who are going to be very angry with me at the end of all this, but hopefully I will have earned enough friends and trust by then that, well, but you can't live your life in fear, right? I don't believe in that either. Shot, which it turned out he was. Because, this is detrimental. Everything is hanging by a thread here on which he was. Or perhaps it just looks really bad. Because maybe you might have to explain some things. Hospital records and such. Doctors, treating doctors, nurses. Follow-up care. All the neighbors around. Anybody who's seen you at a store, whatever, they would be able to tell for months. Playing, just like somebody playing guitars. I think I remember something about that. Fuck, I'm a smart ass. Pretty jovial. I don't even like to spend a great deal of time with this shit. Because it's just, it's ridiculous. Right? We all know that. But this is rinse repeat. Like I said, I've only done 50% of the warrants, but they're all the same. Other than the fact that they have removed some pieces, which I find very interesting. And that the redactions don't really seem to have anything to do with ongoing investigations. They have to do a lot with covering up what may have happened with the RCMP's part, and that you may be able to put some pieces together to say, yeah, maybe this wasn't quite what we're getting sold in the media, which they are very insistent upon. And also maybe that there was something else going on. Again, being very, very, very sarcastic when I say that. There may have been some stuff in here that does kind of, not a lot, but there's enough already outside the warrants that put pieces together. Are mind dumbing. Yeah, they are. They're married mind dumbing. Sorry, I'm just trying to review your stuff. Can the government held liable for destroying evidence? That's a good question. I think there's a lot of basis in the future here for some fairly big suits, just by citizens also. On other principles. Thank you for still going with this. You inspire me, brother. Well, thank you for continuing all your help and hard work. They didn't want to stop him. It does seem something's a little wrong there. Why do seniors in okay, well, that's COVID, so I'm gonna try. I'm trying to keep it eye on the prize. Sue the shit out of them. Yeah, I agree with that. We just have to keep doing this. Look up a red dot. It displays a red dot in the glass sight to the shooter only. Well, yes, because it would only be first person, right? That would see that. The person that, if they happen to get that in the eye, well, that would be injurious. I don't think you could see. You get a laser pointed in your eye. One would probably remember if they got it in the eye versus the forehead. I think there's some confusion about that. They may have gotten it in the eye or the forehead. They don't really know. I'm sure that they did in fact know. That would be worse than welding without a mask on. Kind of blinding. Pension plan investments. You know that actually that does relate to something else, which again I just finished saying I'm not really going to get into very much, but the RCMP Military Pension Fund owns a shit pile of old folks' homes. Some of the very same ones that we were getting piped full of that had COVID. Just saying. Rivera. Strange. I was always very curious why any of the old folks' homes I was working in never had any problems. Not working, but volunteering. Should be corrective on that. I also found it curious the rinse, repeat of statements that almost most certainly are all from Banfield's family. Or I guess there may be a friend in here. I don't know. But I would say family, who also, we have 2 members of being charged. They actually just kind of say the same thing over and over and over again, all on the, let me see, what was that? Oh, the 19th, while bodies were still laying in homes. They were going and talking to all of Banfield's families who were saying the same things. It's almost like they were reading a script. Kind of weird. Because I know that on the 19th, there was still a lot going on with the Tucks. Oh, certainly. A lot of other families. But they seem to find the time to go and talk to Lisa's family. I don't know. 19th anniversary. Everybody's 19th anniversary. I have seen this stuff about the photos. I've known about the photos for a long time. I'm not going to weigh in on that one right now. I think there's something there, as in it's obviously worthy of looking at. It's at this point in time for me, it's more weeds than anything. Because it's more imperative to get the story of what's going on. The backstory. Pre-19, I think, is very important. Tapes are very important. Tapes are extraordinarily important. I've tried to, I'm very good at seeing big picture things. And I've tried to conceptualize strategic moves that the government will have if the tapes narrative starts to fall apart. it's going to be quite serious. I can't even quite conceive what that will mean. And I don't know how they'll possibly ever come back from that, what their defense would be. If the tapes turned out to be fake, one would have to ask themselves, obviously, fairly important questions like, who would fake them? Who was involved in faking them? Why would they take the effort to fake them? Why would they insert them 9 months later? Who has the ability to do that? Manufacturing, if it's in fact our intelligence or RCMP that is involved, which I have a heavy suspicion is the case. Why? And I think that's very, very, very illegal. Who would be involved in those decisions? The tapes are bad, and that's what I think a lot of the shit is coming from. They didn't expect to get called on it. So I think if, getting a group together, a small group of us together that is dedicated, that are good people, hopefully people that have no problem, I'm getting to the point where sadly I don't know who is what in some cases. And I think if we're all playing above board, doesn't matter. We can share each other's names. I have no interest in dating anybody or running down to your house and, I don't know, whatever, asking for a sleepover because I'm hard up or something like that. It's just being level with everybody. And we were investigating those pretty hard, doing the different components of that. I think it would absolutely get blown out. And that I can't conceptualize. My mind is good, like I said, on big picture and what are going to be the consequences? What are going to be the counter moves? I can't figure that one out. And it's disastrous. It's very disastrous. Very disastrous. It's worse than when the Enfield one, the true gravity of what happened down in Enfield comes to light. Anyway, I have been prattering, as my grandmother would say, prattering on for a very long time. And I do apologize for the lateness. I do hope that you have learned something or have things that you can share or correct me on. I obviously love that. If I made any mistakes in here, I need to be fixed on that one. Of course, I'm very much about evidence. You got it. Great. Opinions, not so great. Ask questions, please. Continue to ask bigger questions. Who are you? What is your motive? Why are you doing what you're doing? Is what you're saying the truth? Demonstrably, can you prove it? Parsing media articles and seeing what is really being said. Are there things underneath there, the angle of the car? Subliminally, right? Changing stories. And please continue to do, these kinds of things. Archiving, use this kind of shit. And be good to one another. And of course, as always, special prayers. I know all of our hearts are with all of the families and always have been, because that's the motive. Just goodness, purity, truth, honesty. And it is an issue to do with Nova Scotia, but it is an issue that affects all of Canada. So God bless you all. Thank you for your ever continued support. Please be good to one another. Remember to take the high road. Have a great morning.